Hey everybody, Logan here. Looks like we got some more news. I haven't done 2 consecutive day videos in quite some time because, well, if it hasn't been bad news, there hasn't been any good news. And, well, we usually save that for the podcast and just rant about it. Oh, but hey, there will be no podcast this week. Just so you guys know, I am traveling out of town, so it won't be this Thursday. It'll be the following Thursday. But that's shameless self-plug. Ready to start podcast every Thursday except for this one, 9:30 p.m.-ish Eastern. But hey, you guys don't care about that at the moment, and if you do, hey, hit that subscribe button. But what we're talking about is this new Xbox handheld that was leaked. So I've known about this for a while, and I have been given quite a bit of information that I probably shouldn't have been privy to. But as of right now, there have been leaks, and I was given the go-ahead to say yes, they are real. So I was sent many of these images this morning, and then boom, they hit the internet. And my insider goes, here, let me show you. I can confirm. I've seen these for myself. They're real. And he still hasn't told me if he's got hands-on time. But he said, yes, he saw them for himself. These are the ones that he saw in person like months ago. And he's like, yeah, it's real. It's real. So this is the official Xbox handheld made by Asus. And if the information from my video yesterday is true, which from, again, same source inside Microsoft said, yes, this looks like the way Xbox and Microsoft will go for the future. Have third-party companies make their hardware, and they won't be making hardware anymore. Shocker. Hopefully it doesn't go the way of the 3DO or CDI or any of those, because we all saw how great that did, and if you're not old enough, look it up. It was a mess. But here, let me show you some of the information. I'm just going to pull all this from Windows Central because it makes it a lot easier than me having to download all the images in my phone when they're very similar. Actually, they're all the same except for one. But yeah, let me show you these, and then I'll discuss and I'll tell you the information that I got and what I can confirm and what I can say is sus. So let's take a look. So like I said, this article comes from Windows Central. Here it says, Xbox handheld leaks in new Project Keenan, photos from the FCC, plus an Asus ROG Ally 2 prototype with early specs. So what you're going to see here is a black one and a white one. The white one is apparently the new ROG Ally, while the black one is the Xbox handheld. This just basically says they leaked from the FCC. We're not going to go through all their article. It's just not necessary. We have all the specs, and I will give you those straight from Microsoft, because a lot of the stuff you see here is their speculation. And what I do know is this is true. This is actually true. Here I will read. We don't yet know the official specs of Keenan or the Asus ROG Ally 2, but they should at least be as powerful as the excellent Asus ROG Ally. Perhaps the improved battery efficiency and optimization that bring it closer to even better ROG Ally X. For now, the leaks hint at AMD Ryzen's Z2 Extreme processor running at 35 watts max for Keenan. So this right here is actually true. The information I was sent says it is a Ryzen Z2 Extreme 36 watts, so that is correct. 64 gigabyte LPDDR5 8533 RAM with a 7-inch 120 Hz display. That was the information that was given to them. And as you can see right here, those are the mock-ups. Actually, these are more like, I wouldn't say prototypes because they're very close to production. We've got the Asus ROG and then the Xbox ROG. I'm not sure what the official naming convention is, but this is going to be the Asus version. This is going to be the Xbox version. And that's what I was told. That's how these two are going to be. Now, as of their last meeting, these have been leaked, and I can confirm, yes, May 20th will be announced. I've seen them, and they're real. Could be great. So that's... He wrote in shorthand, so that's why I had to add in words. But, yeah, this is all true. Now, ignore the nonsense of their political BS, because Windows Central, we know, is going to skew towards TDS. So ignore anything that they say here in terms of price. From what I'm looking at, let me give you a couple more of the information that I was given before I go on and tell you a bit more about what we know, what is true and what isn't. So it says there will be the two colors, the black and white, two power models. Not sure if one's going to be a Z1 or a Z2. We know the Xbox version is going to be the Z2, and maybe the white one will be the less power. That we don't know at this time. And of course, they all have the rear grips. Very similar to the ROG Ally, but with interesting improvements. Interesting improvements are going to be, they don't have the image here, and that's the only other image I have where this is zoomed in on. There is, let's see if I can, nope, they don't even let me do that. But this button right here is the actual Xbox button. You would see that here as well, but here it doesn't have the Xbox symbol. There's actually an Xbox engraving right there. So that is going to be the Xbox home button. So you'll be able to access that as well from there. So the black model, this one, will technically be the Xbox edition. Dedicated Xbox button engraved X is visible. Xbox Play Anywhere plus PC Game Pass support. No native Xbox OS. So that's something that's said right now for when it comes out, but we don't know if there's going to be an updated Xbox native OS. We just don't know any of that right now. Nobody on their end has decided. And if you guys are wondering why it looks the way it does, it's a pre-production unit, so it's been worked on, and you're probably going to see even maybe some more rounded edges, maybe some more ergonomics and some front design, because here it's just flat. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a little refinement. So it will have an AMD Ryzen Z2 Extreme, 35 watt. Now the ROG Ally 2, the white model, is upgraded specs over original. Battery life focus, expected reveal May 20th. So here I think they said the 19th, or was that when I was reading? Yeah, here it's the 20th. Here it seems the 20th. I think Pure Xbox said the 19th, and I was like, no, that's incorrect. Especially here, it backs it up. So and yes, these devices are almost certainly running full fat Windows 11. It is true. So that doesn't mean we won't see one with an Xbox, I guess an OS later on. But that is the information I have there. Now, speculation for price. When I was talking to him, I was like, oh, it's going to be at least 600 plus. He's like, no. With these specs that they're cramming in there, you're looking at $899 to $999. Honestly, I think that's a bit much for a handheld. People are giving the Switch 2 quite a bit of flack for the price and what they're putting in there. We're looking at half the price, man. We're looking at half the price. Yes, this might be really powerful, but $1,000, come on. I mean, really? I mean, the average gamer is getting priced out here. I think these things are getting to the point where, you know, when you come across your I guess you can say your PC fanboy, and they're like, just spend the money, it's easier. Just build a PC, spend that $4,000 and get the best there is. I'm like, people haven't had that much disposable income in almost 5 years now. Especially the last 4 years has destroyed everything, as we know. Things are trying to get back on track, but it's really hard to fix an economy that was slaughtered. And people just don't have that kind of money to throw away on video games. So buying yourself these days a Switch Lite looks more palatable than something like this. and you've got thousands of games to fall back on. Shoot, like I'm saying, even the Switch 2 is more palatable, especially with the increase in prices for the Xbox Series X and S, and then in some regions for the PlayStation 5. We've even seen console prices skyrocket across the entire world. I mean, people are probably going to go back to retro gaming, and apparently that seems to be the case. Otherwise, they're just going to play what they can on whatever device that they already own. A lot of people are doing it on their phones. Is this the ideal way to play? No. But it's the cheapest way to play, and a lot of people are going, you know what? I got to pay my mortgage. You know what? I got to pay rent. I got to pay car payment. I got to pay my cell phone bill. You know, I got to put food on the table. I don't have the extra money to spend $1,000 to play Xbox games that I can now play anywhere. Don't get me wrong. I think this handheld will be pretty cool. If we get rid of the whole financial talk around it, I think it's going to be a fun handheld to have. Otherwise, I have a Asus ROG Ally, and I don't use it too much because, well, I'm not a big fan of the OS, and I'm just not really a PC gamer, so I play Xbox Game Pass games on it when I travel if I'm not bringing my Switch Lite. So, can it be fun to have? Yeah. Will you be able to play Dune the Dark Ages? Will you be able to play Oblivion Remaster? Will you be able to play Expedition 33? Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's what everybody wants to do. Oh. Wait, you could probably do that on your Asus ROG Ally or your Steam Deck if you already have one of those and you want to play those games on PC. Especially if you have a ROG Ally. And I have the ROG Ally that was $400, and I can play all those games pretty decently. Do I have max settings and all that other power? No, but I can still play it. And am I playing it for long periods of time? No, it's a ROG Ally. The battery sucks. So, I guess that's where we're going to leave this one. What do you guys think about this new Asus ROG Xbox Ally X handheld thing? A little expensive if that's what we're looking at. That's going to be pricey. It will be out later this year. And everything I read, I can pretty much confirm. I was reading it straight from the text that I got this morning. Once the leak hit, he was just like, here, this is the information I can confirm is real. Anything else they're talking about, take it with a grain of salt, because this came straight from a guy who's at Microsoft and works with their game division. So, right? Tell me if you're excited about this thing or if you can give a hoot. Let me know. Drop it in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. God bless each and every one of you. Hopefully, you all have a fantastic day. That would be great. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.